With the country still recovering from challenges brought on by the COVID-19 pandemic, stakeholders in the business sector contend that a continuous decline in the country's productivity rate will negatively impact the economy. Speaking at a forum hosted by the Ministry of Labor and Social Security on Tuesday, panelists explained that a high level of productivity is important to Jamaica's labor force as it helps to reduce the amount of waste in the system and allows for sustainable economic growth and wage increase. At the forum, a senior director of research and measurement at Jamaica Productivity Center revealed that from 2000 to 2019, Jamaica's productivity rate and total productivity rate declined compared to the United States, the United Kingdom, and other CARICOM countries.
We find that Jamaica's productivity is also weakening, but not only is the growth weakening, we find that it's also declining. So as our partners are also declining, our trading partners, we find that we are actually declining at a faster rate. So that gap in the labor productivity between Jamaica and the rest of the world is increasing. And this is actually true even if we look at it across the Caribbean. To put this into context, for instance, when we look at labor productivity over the last 2 decades, so if we use 2000 as our start point, and then we use 2019 as our end point, what we find is that labor productivity in Jamaica declined by 15%. However, if you look at St. Lucia, for that same time period, it increased by 1%. In Barbados, it increased by 6%. In Trinidad and Tobago, it increased by 42%. And in the Dominican Republic, it has increased by 51%. And so what we realize then is we have very weak labor productivity compared to other countries.
The panelists noted that factors that hamper productivity growth range from culture, type of leadership, agility, and a company's inability to measure its productivity rate. Senior Director at Jamaica Productivity Center, Colin Turner, argued that most companies are unable to measure their productivity rate effectively.
What exactly is your raw material usage? What exactly is your energy usage, your energy consumption? How are you using your labor? How are you using all these different resources in the organization? We can calculate productivity for each of these, So we can calculate, for example, your raw material productivity. How efficient are you using your raw material? Are you wasting your raw material?
The panelists also outlined some solutions to increase Jamaica's productivity rate.
I think we have to create a stronger melting pot across the region to support economies of scale. We are struggling as individual nations in the global village. And I think our best chance is owning our region in a way that we can have cross-border research, cross-border development, cross-border deployment. We have done that through the University of the West Indies. I mean, most of the persons who I interacted in my time were from different parts of the region, and we were able to build different ideas and businesses because of that various interactions that we have and different culture, that we can actually create that melting pot to support productivity. But I think we need to have more ownership of our region and take charge.
Sandy Williams, Frontline News.